welcome to the Madness Collective.
Wait. No, it had not gone. I want to remind you of this. And fuck it, everybody is gonna hear this. But the last two, when I go and rewatch, it's you just it's cut off in the middle of your introduction. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start giving you a cue beforehand so that you're not cut off. But anyway, continue.
I look for that. Hi, hello, welcome. Welcome to the Madness Collective. If this is the first time you're tuning in, I'm Crescent. My co-host is Antoine.
Yeah, that was me talking in the background.
Our guest co-host tonight is Chavez.
And that was me listening in the foreground.
Not in the foreground. What's up? Yeah, I'm sorry. If this is the first time you're tuning in, we are the Madness Collective. We recap the week's
what's up?
Not the week's headlines. We recap the headlines. Hi, Lisa. So, already starting off with how we do. Madness. Welcome to the madness. That's all I got to say. My hair. Okay.
Clearly niggas are excited to see us tonight.
we got audio. Okay, so tonight, remember last Friday when we learned that Aoki Simmons, age 21, appeared to be dating restaurateur and big money man Vittorio Assaf, who is a spry 65. Well, several days later, maybe not. Maybe they're not dating. I don't know. It's not clear. Hip hop beef is different now, I would say. Pros and cons to that. And I would like to discuss. Comedian Jerrod Carmichael is sharing too much. I don't want to know about your slave play sex fantasies, but golly, that info is everywhere in the headlines. So here we go.
It's Robin's fault from Real Housewives of Potomac. I'll tell you why.
Got it. Speaking of slavery, Arizona done gone and dusted off the Civil War era forced birth bill, and black people were still enslaved. Women couldn't vote. Arizona wasn't even a state yet. Okay,
I didn't even know abortion was a thing that far back. That's like before the coat hanger era. Like, what the fuck?
Bro, that's scary. That is scary.
Yes.
Frightening. We're gonna come to that. Hey, Khadijah, watching in real time. What's up, girl? Okay, wait, let me get to this intro. Yeah, I'm sorry. Speaking of crazy, every Trump money move is fraudulent, smoke and mirrors. Like, it's just a 100% bullshit. It doesn't matter what it is. There's nothing there. Speaking of bullshit, apparently Robert F. Kennedy Jr. likes to be on airplanes in his bare feet. Also, his primary campaign goal is to stop Biden. I'm equally bothered by both things. Speaking of bothersome, Terrence Farrah Fawcett Howard is suing CAA.
Wait a minute. Farrah Fawcett?
Oh, you didn't see that? This gonna be good. Oh, this gonna be good.
Somebody didn't read the show flow.
No, I read the show flow, but the Farrah Fawcett thing is just like wild.
Did you clicked on you saw the visual, right? Of Terrence?
Yeah. You have okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying you were oblivious to it. Yeah, it took over the fucking internet.
Like,
yeah.
Fawcett, like,
yeah, but no, I didn't come up with that. The internet did.
Butter.
It's accurate. Okay.
Butter.
Sorry. Thank you to our new subscribers. I was going to try and shout out a few people, but it's too many, and that's the great thing. That's a great problem to have. So yay! Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thank you for subscribing. Yes. Okay.
Hit the like button too. Hit the like button.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Look. When men say hit the like button, it happens. So please, Chavez, Antoine, periodically throughout the night, just say hit the like button. Okay.
Indeed.
What's up, Karen? What's up, Dion? All right. First topic. Age ain't nothing but a number. But 6 days later, so Friday.
Why do you go back?
Allegedly, Aoki's mom, which is Kamora Lee, was furious about it. Allegedly, Dad Russell Simmons appeared to be a little unbothered, maybe indifferent. I don't know. He was like, "All I can do is offer advice and unconditional love from Bali."
Of course,
you literally can't offer anything else because your money ain't right, and you're not allowed in the country where your daughter resides. I guess a phone call, but I don't think she's talking to you. So, it is what it is.
Yo, he's sitting over there in the namaste pose. You know what I'm saying? He keeping it mad namaste in Bali.
You know he got a young. You know he got a young tender over there.
Several. Okay, I don't want to go down this path. Okay, wait. So this is what I love about page 6. A source.
They're the page 6 is the boss up of white media.
Bags.
Literally.
Big bags. Oh, Jesus. Right. So a source reports that it is 100% done. They're absolutely not dating. Even though she did refer to him as her boyfriend multiple times on her IG videos that she posted while she was on vacay with him, right? Like that was Friday, okay? It is Wednesday. So, and also after page 6, I posted some pics from the group, from them kissing on the beach or whatever. Aoki says, of course, I'm not with him. I was never with him when they spoke to her on Monday. These fucking kids. So then, and Antoine, you appreciate this. These insiders and sources were like straight up dishing, right? They were like, oh, he always loved younger, beautiful women. Allegedly, he's well endowed, and they did not mean just financially.
I'm like, not the big dick trope. I couldn't believe they said that shit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And quote, it's the biggest in New York, said the insider. That's what I said. Chavez, that was my face. That was my face.
And y'all know I'm going to repeat what I used to say all the time. It's big dicks everywhere. I don't know why people are acting like they're like, if you want one, they're everywhere, and they are willing. They are willing. They are ready. If you want to be on your host status, you could get fucked by a big dick. It don't. I don't know why people are acting like they're rare. They're fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Welcome to the badness.
I feel like over the summertime, I'm gonna see a T-shirt that says "Big dicks are everywhere and they're willing." I feel like that's the T-shirt for the summer this year, 2024.
Yes. There is a Tristan Thompson on every block, ready. It don't matter what you look like. It don't matter what you look like. Look. We'll probably hit it raw if you into that sort of thing. I'm just saying. Stop. These babies be coming up. These babies just pop up left and right. I'm sorry.
It's still light outside, but how is it after dark right now? It is still light. We starting off after dark and uncut.
Because we started off with a ratchet ass white media source. That's why we're here already.
Tip Drill ain't got nothing on Antoine.
No. Wait, just it's delivered in a way more intellectual tone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just whatever the content is just coming just on a better platter. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So also, look, while you talk about it's still light outside, I'm still in my mama's house. She's still up. So, this will be interesting. Okay.
Sorry, Gladys.
Antoine, you see Khadijah's comment? She said everywhere, question mark.
They're not everywhere. They're not as rare as people act like they are, is all I'm saying. That's
oh my God.
That's not the case.
Oh.
Ka Lum.
Thank you. Yep, you got it.
Said, girl, that Chanel bag was not worth slobbing over a decaying body. Funny enough, in the article, they said she actually doesn't care about that stuff. She's not like Hermes. She's not all about the material shit. So interesting, but we'll see.
Yes.
What did Tony say? That drag by Antoine. He would think that he didn't like Tristan. Oh, I mean, Tristan is a very tall, very athletic fuckboy. So, like.
Also, let's be clear here. And also, hey, Dominique. Also, like, when you go out in the rain, are you shocked when you get wet? So he has already let you know what he's on. So when you fawn after him and follow him, and then you keep catching him cheating, he been showing you. To me, at this point, it's not even his fault. He's let you know who he is, and you continue to.
Sorry, is Chavez frozen?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Antoine. You're right. You continue to mess with that. You know what you're getting. Come on.
Yeah. So I don't even fault him no more for it.
Yeah. Hi, Jason. Jason's in the chat. All right. I don't know how to get Chavez unfrozen. So
we just go wait.
Okay, that's cool. Okay. Blue screen.
Toodles.
All right. So on Monday, speaking of Jason, hey Jason was with us on Monday, and I saw this headline trending on Friday because I think that's when J. Cole's album came out. Might delete later. So we mentioned it, this beef, but we didn't really go into it because neither one of us really prepped to talk about it because both Antoine and I were like, what's happening, whatever. So Drake and J. Cole's beef with Kendrick, explain. Okay. I'm gonna try as quickly as possible. So Kendrick took an initial shot, which I feel like was just kind of bragging, right? And I'll get into a little bit of detail what that was. I'm gonna try. Mm-hmm. Hey Danielle, Drake's emo ass took it up a notch, okay? In my opinion, unnecessarily, right? So 2023 track is First Person Shooter. That's Drake featuring J. Cole. Cole says, love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot? Is it Aubrey or me? We the big three, like we started a league. But right now, I feel like Muhammad Ali. Okay. So that helps me clear up who the fuck the big three was supposed to be anyway in this era. And I'm going to come back to that. And hopefully Chavez will show back up at some point. Drake ends that particular track comparing his success to Michael Jackson. Okay. So this year, 2024, there's a track called Like That has Metro Boomin, it's Future and Kendrick. So Kendrick says, fuck sneak dissing, First Person Shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. He also said, nigga, Prince outlived Mike Jack. Which was a reference, obviously, to the First Person Shooter, but also some 2017 song called Mask Off, which I feel like I should know that one. So
that's the one. That's the one with the flute on it, I believe. It was real popular. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
The rap. Like I know that one. The rap, I know a little bit. The hip hoppers, I know a little bit about it.
Help me, Jesus. So then that verse, this is still Kendrick on Like That. He says, he ends the verse with this: for all y'all dogs getting buried, that's the K with all these 9s. He gonna go see Pet Cemetery. Okay, so this is still commentary on Drake. This is all current. Drake appears to respond a week later at a concert. Because this is, to me, classic Drake, okay? I don't know. We said this, I think we said this on Friday or maybe Monday. Pusha T broke Drake, okay? He did. So actually,
yeah.
I'm gonna pause right there. Right. So our era of beefs, right? You got Tupac and Biggie. We know how that ended. And I'm not saying that, let's just say we know how to end it. We lost Pac, we lost Biggie.
Welcome back, Carter. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Cartier.
Then we had, for more of our, we had Nas and Jay-Z. And that got hectic, but nobody was shooting at anybody, okay? Everybody learned a lesson from Pac and Biggie. Like, let's keep this shit on wax, right? Yeah, Eazy-E, Dre. I forgot about Lil Wayne and Berg, because whatever. LL and 50 Cent in the game. 50 Cent beefing with everybody, so he's whatever. So then, but bring us a little bit more current. You had Drake and Meek Mill, which gave us some bars, right? Like that was a time. And then Pusha T came and destroyed Drake. And I thought there might be some shooting, but Jay Prince, or allegedly Jay Prince, somebody shut it down. Okay. So we really ain't had too much since then until now. Right. And so in this current era, Drake then responds to K-Dot's verses at a concert where he was looking like, that outfit. I wish I had told you to actually show that video, Antoine, because he be wearing some outfits.
Which one? Of J. Cole?
No, it's Drake on stage. And this is what he said. It's okay. You don't have to find it.
Okay.
He said, a lot of people ask me how I'm feeling. I'm gonna let you know how I'm feeling. I got my fucking head up high, my back straight. I'm 10 fucking toes down in Florida, anywhere else I go. And I know that no matter what, it's not a nigga on this earth that could ever fuck with me in my life. You sound mad. Like what? Like this is how we respond to beef now? Nobody hurt my feelings.
I think it's just par for the course. They don't just respond on wax anymore. I think I think he responded because the public had been responding to Kendrick's verse. So he felt like he could say something really quickly. And I'm sure he's going to say something on wax as well. I was a little irritated.
So that's what I want to mention, J. Cole, because exactly your point. Like, and that's what I'm saying.
Oh
like,
yeah, we didn't even get to that part yet. Sorry. Yeah.
No, but I'm almost there. I'm trying to hurry this up. Like I said though, rap beefs are different now, right? So you got Drake standing on there, you know, clearly in my opinion, his feelings, talking about everybody loves me. I'm a proud boy. You know, I'm so dope. Whatever. So then J. Cole drops his album last week called Might Delete Later. 7-minute drill was his first verse on the final track. He says he appears to be responding to Kendrick. He's still doing shows, but fell off like The Simpsons. I like The Simpsons. Your first shit was classic. Your last shit was tragic. Your second shit put a nigga to sleep, but they gassed it. Your third shit was massive, and that was your prime. I was trailing right behiund you, and I just hit mine. Okay, fine. Like, I mean, I wouldn't shoot somebody over this.
I thought it was clever, and it wasn't severe, or it was a light check. It was a light check.
It wasn't I slept with your baby mama in the back, you know, in the back of your car, right?
Yeah, it was a little chin. It was a little chin check, like, nigga, I heard you, and I'm a rapper, so I can't let you get away with that shit. Y'all could still be friends after that. Y'all are supposed to talk shit about each other on records.
Oh yeah, it was definitely not hit him up. It definitely wasn't hit him up by Tupac. It definitely wasn't that. Yeah.
No.
It wasn't you hiding a child, let that child be free.
You need to stop.
Wasn't that either.
Okay, let me focus. So then
it wasn't a condom on your baby seat line, you know, like Jay and Nas, them niggas, you know. Yeah. While I open up my what Jay say about Nas's fucked up teeth, he said when he had the chipped tooth, he said, I'm opening my beer bottle with your teeth. They got down in the fucking gutter. Rockefeller, we rock hoes, y'all rock fellas. It went into homophobia. It went everywhere, nigga. It went everywhere.
That was the era. I mean, you know, so bringing us present. So J. Cole ends up apologizing. Who the fuck does that? Although apparently Jay-Z did apologize because his mom made him. Okay, but he
also said. But here's the difference. Jay and Nas said nasty shit that dragged other people that had shit to do with it in it. All of these beefs, they are specifically talking about the rappers, their projects, their ability to flow, and where they are in the hierarchy, you know, in terms of that. So they're keeping it, they're staying on message. You know what I'm saying? They're not. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
So J. Cole's apology was such. He was like, I was literally no verses, no bar. Like, he was like, look, I'm gonna just talk. I was conflicted because one, I know my heart. I know how I feel about my peers. These niggas, you know, I just been blessed to even stand beside them in the game, let alone chase their greatness. So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bruh, I don't even feel no way. But the world wanted to see blood. I mean, he called his own response corny. So, you know, here we are. It's interesting, right? Like, this is a different era in terms of how beefs go.
Well, we like you said, we're living in a different time nowadays where it's like, it's kind of like, you know, I watch sports, so I'm watching like the NBA, and I'm seeing how people are genuinely friends, like even on the court. And you know, when we were watching ball back in the 80s and 90s, you could be friends, but on the court, it's like we leave it to the side. You know, nobody's smiling and laughing and joking because somebody else hit a 3-pointer. Like that.
No. You might come up with a broke hand Pistons Bulls games. Like, it got real. So yeah. Back to this whole big three, because this was the other thing that was like, I was like, who, what? And I guess if we're okay, so Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, sure, fine. And I don't even like Lil Wayne, but maybe it's because Lil Wayne is not dropping as much as he used to.
That's what it is.
I don't like Wayne is that dude. Yeah. Wayne is that dude.
And I'll give him that. Like, I give him his flow. I'm not a fan, but I'll give him his flow. So yeah, it was just interesting. I'm like, okay, so I don't know, but I'm a little bit removed from hip hop.
It's a big three of the new generation of the niggas that actually chart and sell records. They're the only three. That's why Big Sean's not in the conversation anymore, because his last projects did not do well. These niggas, when they drop, and look, Kendrick slipped a little bit on that last one. A lot of people had a lot to say on it, but he still sells. And when you look at his accolades, he's the critic's choice. He always will be. So, Yeah, in
Kendrick
terms,
is critically acclaimed. Drake is a bestseller, right?
yes.
Like best streaming, whatever.
That's
I guess
actually
I'm
a
also
great way to
like,
say it, Crescent.
yeah, right, yeah, and
Mhm.
and I get that. I'm also thinking again. I don't like Future. I hear a lot of Future shit all the time. Like he gets a lot of play. Travis Scott, I see being a slightly different lane just because of I think how the type of rapper that he is.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think you're right. I think Antoine, in terms of like
And,
looking at.
and they're also considered, they are lyricists. Future to me is like a street rapper, like in the vein as Gucci. They're a different.
Yeah,
they're-
that's fair.
Yeah, they're different because you can when you're talking about the three that we're talking about, their audience is pretty diverse. Once you start moving in the Future territory, it's like that's you're talking about people that come from trap house and
Gutter.
yeah.
That nigga's gutter.
Yeah, the drug dealing and all that, and that is not what these three are. The cerebral rappers. They're our version of backpackers at this point. So yeah, the closest person to them probably is Travis, but that's also something different. Like Playboy Carti and Lil Uzi Verts, they are part of this newer type of thing. So it's just different schools of thought. But yeah, I didn't like the fact that he apologized. He also used the ableist term. I'm gonna call people out when they say it. He said, yeah, I thought my response was the L word, and you're not supposed to say that anymore. It's an ableist term.
No.
Just saying.
I thought he said corny. I didn't realize he said the L word.
At some point, I don't know if it was during his speech or in the verse or whatever, but I read somewhere where he used the L word.
Chavez looks confused. You know what we talking about,
Is the L word
right?
lesbian? Did he say it looks lesbian? What is the L word?
So I'm gonna say the word so that you understand the
Why don't you
context.
spell it? You want to spell it?
Yes, LAME. So
Oh, that's bad now?
it's bad because when you think about the origins of the word, when you think of somebody that's lame, it's usually somebody that is handicapped in some way, maybe with a cane, a lame leg. And so people swap that out because initially I think people were probably saying that's tired, but then they started using that. And so it's offensive to a large demographic of people. So we're supposed to not use that anymore. So I try not to use it. I try and make it concerted effort.
Didn't somebody have to take it out of their lyrics?
Lizzo and Beyonce both said things that alluded to it because the other word is spaz. That's a derogatory term as well. So spaz and lame were both in the ether, and people were being called out for them. So, and it seems like people are being respectful of it for the most part. But rappers are male rappers are notoriously disrespectful because J. Cole on this, and actually technically he's calling it an EP, not a full album, but it's 12 songs. I don't know what that's all about. But he said something allegedly. Let me pull where is that?
Where's the allegedly?
Something allegedly. He said something allegedly transphobic on his album because Kendrick on his last album dropped the F word for some reason, but it was also in reference, if I'm not mistaken, because Kendrick, I think, has a transgender family member that he mentioned.
I think an uncle. You're right. Yeah, family.
I think it was an uncle that transitioned into his aunt, maybe. So something along those lines. So it was I think part of the reason, I don't want to use the term got away with, but I think part of the reason there wasn't as much outrage is because he was being very truthful, and I thought he probably felt like me using this word is going to show more of an impact of where I was and where I am now that I've been slapped in the face with the reality that somebody I love is part of this community. So at some point on some lyric on J. Cole's new project, he said something about it smells like something trans or something along those lines on it. And it was, people are saying that it's directed at Kendrick allegedly, but that's why I have the allegedly up, because it's the rap. I don't always know why people are saying what they say in the rap. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, nigga, go in. Kendrick, you know what? Kendrick, the smallest nigga out of all three of y'all, he be the first one throwing talking shit about everybody. So talk shit about the nigga. That's part of what the fun is. You know, just be respectful.
So, Chavez, this era is a lot of learning for Gen X and up in particular in terms of, vocabulary that we clearly grew up very easily saying. So we at the Madness Collective, we try and do our best to help educate. So, because I have friends who have, children who they get yelled at. They're like, you can't use that word anymore. It's like, can we get a little bit of grace? Just we learning. We learning. Okay.
Yeah. Grace periods for niggas are 5 years. That's the problem.
At least. What'd you say, Chavez?
No, thank you for that. That was a teachable moment. Because I was sitting there, I thought it was lesbian. Even though it didn't make sense to me. It was like I didn't know. I was like the L word. I was like lesbian. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
I saw your face. I was like, that is Chavez's
trying to work it out. Yeah. I was trying to work it out. Like lesbian.
That's okay. We're here to educate. But no, go to Karen's comment. That's why I was laughing, because she said the L word was on Showtime, and so I'm.
It was
hilarious.
I was trying not to say the word. Real quick, because I caught this at the last minute. It's funny. Prince came up in this discussion. Dion's black ass was at Paisley Park with one of Prince's guitars in his hand on social media this week. I don't know the context. Dion, can you tell us why you were at Paisley Park, and fuck you for being there and I wasn't? And
Danielle's been there.
I feel like Danielle, that seems like a place Danielle would have been to multiple times. She's the biggest Prince fan on the planet.
Yeah. Okay, so I do want to highlight a couple.
It used to be wild to just see Prince pop up at like parties. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like he just popped up. I'm like, what?
I miss him.
Yeah.
So this comment I want to highlight. So Jason said Drake the entertainer, J. Cole the lyricist, Kendrick the artiste. Okay.
Yeah.
So Lisa said she said we now should say non-functioning appendage.
That's actually pretty good. That's it. NFA.
There you go. NFA. Jason said we're gonna run out of usable words. I don't know. We're creative people. We'll figure it out. Lisa said that's why I stick with gross. I works with gross. I'm good with weirdo too, because the kids stay with weirdo, and I support that.
Yeah. I've been saying disgusting a lot more lately, but it's harsh, but I mean it's appropriate.
Oh, Antoine, there's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Creepy.
Matt Gaetz. Yeah, creepy works. Creepy works
creepy
totally.
works.
Absolutely. So there's a tweet that I gotta find. I gotta send you. But this person said they're gonna I'm gonna start using biblical slurs, like some old school words from the Bible. I'm like, I like that. I like that a lot. So, wait, what did Dominique say? Oh, Karen said, yeah, words go in and out of usage. Queer used to be a slur. I don't think it is anymore. I agree with you. I don't think it is.
Well, here's the thing. It still is. Here's the difference. It's the context. If somebody says, I went to the party and there was a bunch of queers there, that's a slur. But if someone says, I'm straight, but I watch queer content, that's acceptable. So it's the context in which you use it. Because you remember it was to smear the queer and all these different things. But most people just don't use it. They just don't use that word.
I do think there's been
Wait. Smear the queer. When was that being said?
I think they used to say it in the military, and like it trickled down into like high schools when they would like assault gay kids. Smear the queer. Yeah.
Throwback. Terribleness. The reason why I said you're right, it is context, but there was an embracing of the word queer, to your point, like queer content.
Yes.
Right. And like, look, and we about to talk about Jerrod Carmichael. So
and it is not an apples to apples comparison, but queer in a sense falls under the category of reclaiming something, like we reclaim the word nigga. I am not equating the two by any means, because people get extremely angry when you try and compare the two. I'm just saying it's a reclaimed word.
I think by way of explanation, because again, that's also context, right? Like you talking to ER, you talking about with the A, and depends on who's saying it and how they saying it. So yes, Dominique, I agree. Gen X would be out here canceled by every group if we kept the words we use on the regular. Back in the day. Exactly. Yeah. Karen said calling someone a donut is top tier. Okay, moving on. Jerrod Carmichael. So Jerrod Carmichael is a comic, in case you're not aware of him. He has a show on HBO or on Max or whatever. It's called the Jerrod Carmichael Reality Show. And yep, it's a little too real. In one of his stand-up routines, he said, I sometimes joke to his dude, who's a white guy. I sometimes joke to him that our relationship is like that of a slave and a master's son who like teaches me how to read by candlelight. The audience responded with groans, and he said, yeah, he groans too because he's a good person. He doesn't like that fucking joke. I like that joke. That's my burden. I think that shit's hilarious. Okay. He also discussed coming out as gay around 30 years old, his seemingly insatiable sexual appetite, how he loves choking, and the fact that he likes putting toes in his mouth.
I missed that part.
Yeah. It was in this. So there, you know,
that's why you put this on here. That's why you had this on here. I was like, don't be putting shit in this man's mouth. He didn't say he put in there. I missed that part.
No, he said he put those things in his mouth. So
well, no, wait, I explained on a previous episode that the foot fetish is the second largest sexual kink. I think the first one is what is? I had a list of them about 4 episodes ago.
Uncut after dark.
Yeah.
So wait, so still going. Later in that same episode, he said he was talking to his therapist, and he said his lowball estimate of sexual partners is 1,000. He's been sexually active since he was 3 or 4 with older kids. He said, and I quote, "Sex offers me power and control. It's an escape. I use it to escape." And I'm like, should we check on the white boyfriend? Because I'm now slightly concerned about him. Then he also mentioned his crush that he had on Tyler, the Creator, who's his best friend. And he told Tyler that he has strong feelings for him. And there's a video of that exchange. And Tyler responded like, y'all think Tyler might respond. So I think they're still friends, but Tyler was just like, nigga.
They are still friends, but let me give you a little context before we get into the context with the Tyler, the Creator situation.
Please do, please.
Now, let me put this up here.
Chavez's face.
It has widely been speculated that Tyler only fucks with white boys. So that's the funny part about the exchange is that Jerrod saying, I'm checking for you. And it's like, you already know that you are not what Tyler is looking for either. So a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that part.
But is Tyler like officially out?
Yes. He's been queer for years. He literally has lyrics where he's talking about fucking white boys. So, yeah.
So here's the thing.
Take your time. It's a lot. It was a lot of information in a short period of time.
When I looked at the show flow, I had no idea Jerrod was gay. I guess I just didn't know.
Yeah. Nathaniel, that was he had a special that
a stand up where he came out. Yeah.
I didn't watch the stand up. But I used to watch his show.
Oh.
The show was good, apparently.
The TV show, I used to, yeah.
Not the first one he was in. The first one he was in.
Loretta Devine, Tiffany Haddish, David Allen Greer, they were all on the show, and I heard it was good.
Loretta was good. Tiffany was good. David Allen Greer was good. Jerrod Carmichael, not so good.
But I like the show because
that's fine. Yeah. So I caught 1 or 2 episodes of that and then I stopped. I was like, I'm not doing this to myself. But then when his stand-up came out, Nathaniel, that's how you say his name, right? That's his middle name.
I'm so sorry to this man. I only know the only thing I know about this man and what has shown up in the show flow over the years I don't have a dislike for him. Just for some reason, his nothing that he does ever falls in my lap. And
so the stand-up that I'm referring to, I had never watched any of his stand-up before, is what I'm getting at, Chavez. And I watched that and I was like, this was very, very good. He also is one who has said, I think he called the foreign press out. Like he hosted, like he's that dude. He's a little bit like like Dave Chappelle in terms of calling out, not being afraid to go ahead and say, make the comment. That
he called out Dave Chappelle for the closer. Yeah, I
Obviously
saw.
under a rock, Danielle. Obviously under a rock.
Yeah, that's all good. So yeah, he's talented, absolutely. I'm not sure what's happening right now. He did, I think his Instagram went dark, and I don't think there's been any comment since this episode.
So look. So I'm gonna throw something out there, and I just want y'all to have an open mind here. So
Okay.
one thing I will say is that I'm gonna call him brave for saying that shit publicly, because it's a reality show and he's trying to be real and not, and not be secretive about his life. It's like the good, the bad, the strings, all of this. So I think the first thing I'm going to say is I don't like shaming people for their sexual kinks. It's race play, which means play is in there. It's not real. People are pretending. Obviously, because of the racial history of the United States, when it's two people of different, colors engaging in this sort of thing, it's going to become more incendiary. But what I will say is that what made this more inflammatory for people, and I don't even think people consider this. If you go into a porn shop right now, they have an entire section called interracial. And when I tell you the section that plays to racial stereotypes almost ad infinitum is the straight section of interracial sex, because let me tell you, everybody in this chat, even if you haven't seen it, you maybe heard of this. There is pornography out there where it is big, gigantic, muscular, brown-skinned niggas with gigantic dicks fucking white girls saying, take that big black dick. And that is considered way more acceptable because the black person is in the dominant role and the white person isn't. So white female. So what I'm saying is that falls in the same category with race play, but people don't see it in the same way, because with Jerrod, it's a black male who is in the submissive position as a slave. But this master-slave dynamic, think of a dominatrix and somebody wrapped up with a ball gag, tied up. That is a master-slave situation. Britney Spears made a whole song called I'm a Slave for You, but because she was a woman and women are considered submissive to men, the Bible said it, I ain't saying y'all supposed to be, people didn't make a big deal about that. So all I'm saying is that I understand why black people are offended by it. But the one girl who said the fact that he has a platform and he's destructive to the black gay queer community. No, that's not true at all. He's just kinky. And it's something that makes us uncomfortable, specifically because it's a white man and a black man, because I don't hear people complaining about, how much porn I've seen with a white girl that said, give me that big black dick. I'm just saying, people love this shit and they don't think that it's race play, and it is. It falls in the same category.
I believe you.
So all I'm saying is I understand the smoke, but this idea, people are making, in my opinion, a bigger deal about it than they should. He should not have his platform removed. Just look at him as a weird, kinky motherfucker, and you don't fuck with that shit. But the extra sauce that's being thrown on it, niggas always throw extra sauce on it when the gay word is attached to it.
Honestly, Antoine, what I actually am more distressed about is he's been sexually active since he was 3 or 4 with older kids, his words, and the number of sexual partners. That's a lowball estimate, which again, if you want to date, bodies do it, porn, whatever. But the way he's talking about it seems like it's still some shit he's working through.
He is, though, because he said he was saying this to his therapist. A lot of gay men, because here's the thing, what he's sugarcoating it. What it means is that he as a child was probably, just a lot of this tonight. I knew it was going to be used a bunch of times tonight. If you are 3 years old and you're having, now I guess there is if if you're 3 years old and you're playing doctor with 5-year-olds, I don't think you're being molested. That's experimentation. But if you're 3 years old and there are 12-year-olds doing things sexually to you, you've been molested. So that's a story because it gets really complicated. Most gay people, I believe, are born gay. But you do have some people where there's a mixture of maybe they were born gay, but then they're introduced to sex at an early stage. And, some people I think are not gay. They're introduced to sex by a same-sex adult, and then they can grow up confused about their sexuality because it was forced on them because they were molested by someone. So there can cause some confusion. But with a lot of young gay men who are flamboyant, they are targets for predators because for a lot of reasons. A lot of people, when it's gay shit, they just shove it under the rug. But when it's a girl that's being, tampered with by an adult, there's more outrage. So, I think what this is, and again, to me, I don't want to necessarily say a celebration, but his truthfulness about where he's coming from and what he's into and what he's been through, he's presenting it almost he's trying to be comical and entertaining, but at the same time, I think he's also letting you know, I'm a fucked up person. That's why I am the way that I am. And I think that in a way, to a certain extent, is the beauty of being truthful about it. But I don't know.
No, I hear you on all of that. And I do feel like at this stage in my life, that's what I'm catching that, right? The empath in me, because I am such, is catching that weight on him, right? And I'm just like, okay, look, if you want to put a white man's toes in your mouth, whatever, fuck, I don't fucking care, okay? Sounds a little crazy, but do you, whatever. Consenting adults.
People put worse in their mouth. I remember what's his name? What's the guy? Tom Ford. Tom Ford was in Variety or something. He's like, what's with all the shaved balls in West Hollywood? I mean, what's a mouthful of stubble? What the fuck? Just randomly, he said it. Oh my goodness.
Why not? You're right. So, we can move on.
We can, or you want to?
Well, because we're going to talk about Arizona's Civil War era abortion law. So
you can't wait. Look, this is the first time you ain't never wanted to talk about abortion so quickly and pivot to something else so much in your life.
But you know how I get when I start talking about abortion, my fucking head starts spinning on my neck. So I'm trying to just stay a little bit focused. So this particular insane law, it outlaws abortion from the moment of conception, except when necessary to save the life of the mother, and it makes no exceptions for rape or incest, because in 1864, bitch, you couldn't vote as a woman, as a black person. I'm sorry, black people were still enslaved. And again, the kicker, Arizona wasn't even a motherfucking state. Okay, so this is like a territory law. Okay, just for like you got a fence out there and a marker talking about this probably gonna be Arizona. Like, this is what the hell. So I don't want to get actually into the nuance, because there was a 15-week ban that was kicked off in 2022, right? And so there's a whole conversation about like whether the 15-week ban should have taken over from the 1864 ban, but it doesn't fucking matter, because this is happening because Trump and them religious fucking zealots on the Supreme Court, okay? That is why this is happening. So it's just the fact that this is originated in 1864.
I'm like, who was performing abortions in 1864? Did co-hangers exist in 1864? Can somebody tell me?
I don't think so.
Yeah, what the fuck? What were they doing? Like, I mean, this one.
I don't think they had closets with closet rods.
Exactly. What I'm like, because my perception of technology is really warped. Because I just found out California had electric street lamps in 1882, and I was like, they had them that early? So yeah, it's.
But that just goes to show you, right? Women in pregnancies and needing to not be pregnant for whatever motherfucking reason, right? So look, I'm sure culturally there's some herbs the motherfucker digest, you know what I'm saying? And now it's pill.
Yeah. You are right. You're right. You're right.
And then, but there were, you know, what's also wild though, thinking about that era of medicine, Motherfucking surgeons want washing their hands. Okay, like that still precedes that change in surgery.
Bloodletting, just all kinds of weird shit.
Leeches?
Cocaine in the soda pop. Like, you know, doctors were telling niggas to smoke. It's fine. It'll make you feel better. It'll ease your stomach.
We're not even at that era either yet.
Right.
That's the early 1900s. So
wow.
Okay. So Arizona Supreme Court said Arizona's legislature had not created a right to abortion when it passed the 15-week ban. This is insane language, but I'm just trying to get through this part. Right. So the 1864 law had never been repealed. And so because the federal right to abortion in Roe had been overturned by Trump and the religious zealots on the Supreme Court, nothing in federal or state law prevented Arizona from enacting this near total 1864 ban. Okay. So I'm going to circle back to this exceptions bullshit because in the 15-week thing. So just in terms of short term, Governor Hobbs is a Democrat of Arizona. She's issued an executive order putting authority to prosecute abortion-related cases under the Attorney General. The reason why this is a good thing is because the AG is a Democrat, and she said, I'm not prosecuting anybody on this bullshit. Right. She said she will refuse to allow Arizona's elected county attorneys to bring cases under this particular ban. Now, Republicans, of course, are going to scream and cry and whatever, but who gives a fuck? So back to this 15 weeks and this exception shit. It's 23 to 24 weeks, which is what Roe was. I don't want to hear shit about 15 weeks. I don't want to hear shit about 16 weeks. I want to hear shit about 6 weeks. Fuck you. Okay? Don't care.
Yeah.
Also this exception nonsense. And that's the thing that's killing me. Yes, this law, 1864, for a bunch of reasons, is completely insane. Moment of inception. I'm sorry, Alabama Supreme Court just called embryos kids. So
yeah,
we are in crazy land, which is where those of us who saw this coming knew where we were going to get to. So we're there, yep. Okay? And this exception nonsense is not real. That's why you got the cases out of Texas where the blonde-haired woman is like, I was about to die. I had sepsis. I'm going to die. Yeah. They were like, yeah, you still can't get an abortion here. So this exception bullshit is bullshit, right? The rape incest category. So you got a 15-year-old who is getting raped by someone in her house, and she's supposed to go file a police report and then get that to them, and then y'all can tell her she can get her. None of these exceptions are real.
And also you can never have a complete list of exceptions. That's why it should be between the person and their doctor, because as soon as you make a solid list of exceptions, there's going to be another situation that's not on the books that needs to be between the person and their doctor. Somebody's going to be traumatized for whatever reason. And yeah, real quick, Ernest, I thought you was mad at me. I'm glad to see you tonight.
Welcome back, Ernest. We missed you. So, right. Sorry. So Roe v. Wade decided in 1973 was up until viability. 23. Actually, there was a case that came out that I think was KCV, Planned Parenthood. But where we landed, where we were until religious, crazy Supreme Court people was 23, 24 weeks viability. And then after that was for the health of the mother. Because at that stage, if the fetus can now live outside the womb, you do that. You deliver the baby, and then you figure out what needs to happen next, okay? Ain't nobody out here aborting a damn child in, like, the 9th month. That's not a real thing, okay?
No.
And you definitely ain't killing no baby once it's arrived. Like, that's murder. We don't do that. So that is what we need to get back to. So any other compromise, you can kiss my ass. What I'm supposed to be in here like, please, Mr. Man, can I get another couple weeks to own my body, please? No. Okay. This is not okay. None of this is okay. So this puts Arizona a lot more in play for this year for Biden. I guess. Thank you. 1864 bullshit. Here's the thing. The Arizona Republicans we're scrambling, right? Because this is crazy. And so they're like, oh yeah, no, this goes too far. We don't want this. And yet today, the Democrats were like, okay, well then let's throw up some shit that we can like knock this 1864 out and keep the 15. And we'll just, we'll fight against that. They don't want to do that shit either. Yeah. So this campaign cycle. Yeah.
This is wild.
Y'all don't did it now.
And this is what I've been saying for a while. And it's interesting that this is back in 1864 because the issues that we've been dealing with over the last, 10 years or so, are because the union didn't do what any other army would do if they won a war against someone else. And the reason that they didn't do what they should have done was because they had ethnic sympathy. So now basically all of this craziness that we're dealing with nowadays comes from, over a century of people sitting up upset, angry, mad, and seething. And now you have this person who's ignited a fire up under a fringe, and the fringe has now became the majority. Well, not the majority, but the main, because they're not the majority, but they're the main. And that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah. No, you're 100%. And we talked about this a couple episodes ago. We need to refer to them as religious zealots. This is your religion interfering with my life. Okay? So, as we've said, you don't want to have an abortion, don't fucking get one. But you don't get to dictate to me what needs to happen with my body. That's the conversation between myself and my doctor, myself and my pastor. Ain't got shit to do with you, right? Like
from the party, the party that believes in small government. From the party.
Right.
Okay. Speak on it. So that's why I get so enraged about this. Because it is so insane.
Fuck you, Ernest.
I saw that. I was trying not to laugh. So at this juncture, if you're not voting for Biden, and I get it, not everybody loves that man. I understand, but not voting for Biden means you're trying to have women back in subservient position.
Listen.
Oh, sorry. Just wait. I want to add this. They're not stopping that abortion. That's clear. They're not stopping abortion. Contraception, voting rights, Brown v. Board. Trust me. Go ahead.
So I mean, I've been a registered independent since the 90s. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with. There's rarely anyone that I agree with 100%. But at the end of the day, it's like two things you have to do. Two things you have to do is do your research, conduct as much research as possible, and vet your sources. Number one, and then number two is vote for your own self-interest. And what happens is, for so many years now, people have not voted for their best self-interest. They voted for other reasons, but not for their self-interest.
Well, a lot of it is a lot of that is aspirational voting.
I just wanted to clarify. I actually more so meant women just being and I get it. From a religious standpoint, you feel some kind of way about abortion. I understand that. But outside of that, it's going to be hard for me to have a conversation with you. Sorry, Antoine, you were saying.
No, go ahead. It's not.
No, that's it. That's all. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, I just, I think what's scary to me is this idea that with everything that's happened with abortion and then this thing with Trump pivoting, I think it's crazy that his audience, his constituency, they know that he's pivoting just to win, as opposed to pivoting because you truly believe this. And I was listening, to NPR today, and they played 12 clips where this nigga jumped back and forth between saying he was pro-life and pro-choice. And I'm like, this is the most polarizing issue in America, and you have not made a stance on it.
Nope.
And this idea that, it's that goes to show that's not a good candidate. You have to be steadfast. You got to stand in your truth. You can't be all over the place. It's basically the same thing we were complaining about with The Rock. Take a stand. And then if the people are with you, they with you. If they not, then they go to the next person. You keep saying it's the will of the people. Then make a stand, take a stand, and let the people choose. You're not letting us know where you are. And he won't comment on 15 weeks. He will not comment on it. He will not answer that question because he knows it's too polarizing, because they already starting to turn on him.
Yes, as they should. But again, Chavez said it, you said it. Whenever they say it's the will of the people, or whenever they talk about limited government, literally my head, I have to stop it from spinning on my neck because again, we keep looking for a word that's stronger than hypocrisy because I can't. Like it is enraging.
It used to be spineless. Spineless was probably the closest we had to it. Because someone that's spineless will do anything in their own self-interest, regardless of if it hurts their family, their friends. It's all because it's bigger than selfish. Spineless is worse than selfish.
Antoine, you got to be careful because there may be some people who don't have spines.
You need to stop. You
want to be careful with using that word because there may be people who don't have spines, man.
No, there actually are people who don't.
Yeah, probably.
They're gonna come for you.
I saw. Sorry, I think Ernest's comment was talking about anybody says there's no difference between the parties. Correct. That's another thing too. This whole both sides.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. No. Okay. Republicans at this juncture just flat out lie. They lie and they don't get care. They don't care if they get caught in the lie. Well, they just change it to another lie. Like there is this naked grab for power is frightening. There's no moral. Here's where it's a suspension of disbelief. This is the first time in American history where a former president has people from his cabinet and his administration, we're talking about like his right-hand man came out and said, I'm not voting. There's from true conservatives and true Republicans from the past. And while I might not agree, with a lot of what they say, it's just interesting that these people that were held and revered back in the day are coming out and saying what they're saying against the former president, and it's not being taken seriously by a lot of his followers who claim to be conservative or Republicans. Because it's officially a cult. It's a cult. So you have the religious zealot element, and then you have those who are like, we need to stay in power no matter what. We don't want a democracy. We want to take control and keep control, like Putin. That's
a dictator. That's what a dictator's goal is. Because the thing is, like what you said, Chavez, most of us should be voting in our own self-interest. The people that just are stank to me are these. I hate shitting on a religious group since I'm not a believer, but I respect people who say that they are something and they follow the rules set by that organization that they participate in. So, if you're a Muslim and you pray to Mecca every day, hey, you know what? That's celebrated. You standing 10 toes in it. These evangelicals are pussies when it comes to their own religion. You have a person who is a false prophet and you're following him. He is anathema to what you actually believe in.
Monday,
and you're voting for him.
Monday, his criminal trial starts for the porn star hush money case.
Yes.
Go ahead, Shabazz.
I think as people in general, we need to change from saying people are peas to saying people are balls, because balls are very sensitive. Peas can take a pounding. You know what I'm saying? Peas can take a serious pounding, and you can come back the next day and they still want to go at it. But the balls, like as soon as if the wind blows, a certain way, it could cause some irreparable damage.
Well, nigga, I'm gay, but I know a well broken in pussy can take a lot of pounding too. So let's not act like.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That we should stop saying calling things weak peas, and we need to start calling things that are weak balls. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are being balls, or the Republicans are being balls right now.
Oh my goodness!
Because the peas can take a pounding. They're tough. Peas are tough. Peas are tough.
Sarah's in Barbados.
There's nowhere else to go with this. It's just like you have a group of people that will say whatever they need to say to stay in power, which is stank, because that's not how politics in America are supposed to work. We don't know what you stand for.
Unfortunately, it has been that way, because you even look at, when Nixon was in, I mean, once again, Democrats let him slide. Like it's like the libs keep letting people slide. They let the Confederacy slide. They let Nixon slide. It's like they're just letting things slide.
Can I tell you?
And the former president's being treated with kid gloves, because I mean, I've never seen anybody listen. Philando Castile had on a handgun that he was legally, lawfully able to carry. And a police officer shot and killed him in the car. And now we have a person who's literally been found guilty for fraud, right? And he was asked to pay $400
and sexual assault. Sexual assault.
And but it's like he was $400 and something million, but they're like, hey, you know what? Let's bring that down to $175 million. It's so like there's this continuous thing to protect. Even when he's guilty. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. And so there's a couple things, right? And you mentioned it a little bit. You alluded to it after the Civil War. Like, sorry, not sorry. The South should have been completely crushed. And during Reconstruction, we kind of got there. And then, other cats came to the White House and it's like, yeah, fuck all that. Like, you niggas don't got too far. Nope, fine.
Because it was states' rights. It was about states' rights.
They gave the plantation owners got reparations. They got paid money.
I literally was about to say that, right? Like, y'all compensated the motherfucking slaveholders, right? And then you had the daughters of the Confederacy.
The Confederacy.
Right, daughters of the Confederacy, and then you have all these statues going up of these fucking traitors, right? So all of that shit shouldn't have happened. This should have been like,
we're talking about like these statues were going up like 80 and 100 years later.
So what I'm getting to is this. So what happened in Germany after the Holocaust is what should have happened here. All that shit got shut down. None of that shit was allowed to thrive, come up, whatever. But hey, America, right? Then
illegal to fly the flag. Like, illegal. It was fucking, it was contraband. Like, yeah.
If you have a tattoo, of the swastika in Germany, they'll lock you up if you're displaying it publicly.
This is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So what should have happened here, but didn't? Then you had Nixon, who should have gone to jail. At a minimum, he should have been officially tried, right? But no, we gonna pardon our homie, so we can't, because we can't really have that. But they at least at a minimum kicked that motherfucker out of office. Okay, so we had something. But yeah, he should have went to jail. So now fast forward to
they let him know he stepped away, because they let him know there was going to be one or two things, so he stepped away.
Right. And I still think, and I've said before, I still think that era, you still had white men who were going to stay in charge. Once the black man became president, they're like, okay, hold up. We got to take all of this back. We can't even sort of, right? Wait, like we can't even kick a white man out who should be kicked out, because one of you brown or black people might like show back up and like take shit over again. So we can't even play around with that, right? So now, but also it's not indicative, but it's also our system, right? Our justice system, which is supposed to work for people who don't have a lot of means, right? Like, so you don't automatically just get thrown in jail, although you do if you're black.
You do.
But, right, like, he is using the system as it is set up. And so this is the frustrating part, that all of us are like, who have some sense, are like, what is happening? So we got to vote. We got to vote him and the rest of these crazy people out of office. Go ahead.
This is where he's smart. I'll never forget. He was when he was doing the debate with Hillary, and Hillary was like, he doesn't pay his taxes. And really quick, he said, that's because I'm smart. And then she said something. He said, if you want me to pay my taxes, change the tax code. But you're not going to change the tax code because your friends are wealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yo, this dude is a beast.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But what you've never had is someone so brazen about like fucking over working the system. You just never had that.
I couldn't believe he said that. I mean, I now obviously it's par for the course, but yeah, I couldn't believe he said that.
But that's, again, I can talk about this endlessly, so we are going to move on. I was trying to look up stuff that was happening in 1864 beyond the Civil War, but not a lot, because, that was what was going on. But just to think about, this is the law that is now back on the books from that era. And that is what they're trying to take us back to. So
I'm going to tell you what's crazy. So like a year before, so my pops just passed this past December, right? And like a year before my pops passed, I was talking to him, and I found out that my dad grew up. I didn't know my dad spent his first 13 years with my grandmother, first 8 years with my grandfather. My great-grandfather and my great-grandmother. So he didn't. My grandmother actually went away to school, and my great-grandparents kept him, right?
Okay.
My great-grandfather was born in 1859. I knew that, and that blew my mind that my pops had. I'm talking to someone who had daily interactions with someone who was born in 1859.
Yeah.
That completely blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now we're talking about a law that's coming back into effect that was 5 years after 18.
Yeah.
Yo,
yes.
That is crazy.
Yeah, when you think about it, that's it's crazy. Not that too many generations back of people who were enslaved. We're not that far away from it.
Yeah. Because my grandmother was 2 generations from, her parents weren't slaves, but her grandparents would have been at some point. Because my grandmother was born in 1909. Yeah.
I thought Antoine was about to say my grandmother was 200 years old.
No, she passed away a long time ago.
he said 2. He said 2 and held that 2 for a minute. I was about to be like, my grandmother was like 203.
Yeah, because there was a rumor in our family that someone had bought somebody out of slavery. And I remember I did some genealogy and I looked at the document and I was like, yeah, slavery would have to be legal for that to be the case. And this document, this marriage certificate, is long after slavery was already over. But
so Bev is in the chat. She said that actually the Wisconsin GOP is looking at an 1849 abortion law. So that is what we're doing right now. So everybody who is
they're slowly with the election of Barack, and then the way things are going, they're slowly, instead of adapting, they're slowly dying off, and they're fighting like for that very last, and like to the very last moment. They're just fighting tooth and nail to try to remain alive, basically.
Yeah.
So okay, we're moving on because I'm tired. And my document isn't loading. All right, speaking of Trump, because this is his fault. He put these crazy motherfuckers on the Supreme Court, and Alito and Clarence were already there, just chomping at the bit. Couldn't wait to take your rights from you, ladies. So this whole, what you were talking about, Chavez, the 400, what? What is was it $444 million that he owed, and it got cut down to 175, whatever. So it's supposed to come from this Knight Specialty Insurance Company led by billionaire Don Henke, who is called the king of subprime car loans. Remember I told you, Antoine, he's the dude who's like giving out people's like all these loans, and he's like a month later,
like 20 at like 28%. You know, it's 20 when your credit is bad, he'll come and get you in a car, but you know you'll be in debt for the rest of your life in a 72 Datsun. That's what he does.
And even better, miss a payment and he gonna collect that Datsun. So yeah.
Oh, and he was held to task for it during the Obama administration. He had to pay out like $40 million for doing some shady shit that he said he didn't do, but he did pay it out. So
yeah. So okay. So per illegal filing, apparently this setup amounts to a little more than a promise that Trump himself could pay the full cost of the bond if he loses his appeal. Okay.
So, could you imagine if they let niggas do this?
Dude.
Could you imagine it'd be like, I mean, I got a Cutlass Sierra that I think is worth $1,200. I know I need 15 grand, but I mean, I know I could get the 12. My cousin been wanting to buy it. Can I just use that instead? That's exactly what this is.
But also, the guarantor, motherfucker, is not even a real guarantor. He just was like, I'm going to put my name on it. But in reality, if this don't work out, he's still going to be the one to come through with the money. It ain't actually still going to come from my pocket. Right?
Well, and the thing that doesn't make sense is that they are saying that is what the bond is. The bond is supposed to be there so that the person that you are appealing gets paid if you are rejected. Now, this guy, they said his company
Wait.
don't even have enough money to pay the full bond if the appeal doesn't go through. Make that make sense.
No. So right, exactly this.
Let
So
me,
wait, Stress. So Hanky's company has financial reserves of just 138 million. Okay. So we're supposed to be talking about 175. And there's a related corporate entity that's supposed to have a financial surplus of 1 billion, but the court filing doesn't explicitly state that it would be liable. So that's just some other company that's like out there, right? Sorry, Chavez, you about to say something else? And then I'm gonna mention to James.
No, I was saying so basically it's like, all right, I'm like, all right, Crescent. All right, so do you have the $175 million for Antoine? And then you're like, no, I don't, but he got it. But I'm supposed to be the one that has it.
Exactly.
But if it don't go right, then I get it from him.
It makes no sense.
It makes sense because all they just trying to do is kick the can down the street.
Yes.
Smoke and mirrors, fraudulent. Yeah. So wait, so Tish James in a legal filing essentially said, the fuck is this shit? Okay, actually her real words were, takes exception to the sufficiency of the surety to the undertaking, right? Basically paraphrasing, for real though, what is this? This is some bullshit. And then Hanky said he accepted the collateral for 175, but admits he has no idea of the source of it. So, he was like, I don't know really where that's supposed to be coming from.
I don't even know what to say. It's racist. And look, this motherfucker dropped, that motherfucker dropped them shoes and said niggas could relate to him because of his deals, his situations with the law. No, nigga, we cannot relate to this. They don't make adjustments based on what we got. I ain't got it. Can you make an adjustment? So we can't relate to you.
Oh, also, Antoine, so today, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more on Friday, Monday starts the criminal trial for the election interference / hush money / sleeping with a porn star case, okay? And he and his legal team has been trying every trick in the book to get this shit dismissed, pushed back, whatever. I think the third attempt was today. That shit got shut down. Okay. So they were talking about jury selection today on the MSNBC. And one thing they said is, they're going to be looking for a certain type, but also apparently going to be looking for African-American males, young African-American males, because they can relate to being fucked around by the justice system.
Oh my God. Yeah, we can't relate to this. We can't relate to this. I'm sorry.
You should be under the jail right now. You should not be out on any type of bond, okay? Because you keep talking shit about people's family members, about to get somebody rolled up on. You can't keep your mouth shut to save your life.
This brother is Teflon Don for real, because
it's
like they will not hold him in contempt for anything. I mean, it's actually, I'm gonna say this, it's actually quite impressive. Not saying that it's good, but it is impressive to see. It's impressive for the whole world to see the privilege that certain individuals have.
Well, again, if you have enough money and lack zero moral compass whatsoever, right? Like you're the devil, Puffy. You know what I'm saying? Then you might not. You gotta
lack melanin too. You have to lack melanin too.
True, but look, let's see what happens with Puffy. I'm curious how this is about to play out too. But hi, Sarah. All right, moving on in terms of also the crazy people. So RFK Jr. likes to be on planes in his bare feet. He just Antoine, we have that image, right? We got that visual.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. It did say that he went to the restroom like that too, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that.
The laboratory, correct. Yeah. And those are gross.
Yeah. Well, I had to make sure y'all saw the feet.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the floor was dirty. You can't see it that well in this photo, but the floor is also dirty. There's trash on the floor. Yeah, this has happened to me on a plane before. I've literally seen somebody take their shoes off and their socks off and had a foot hanging in the aisle. It's disgusting.
Antoine, did you get a chance to see the video where Fox 26 Houston is talking about the situation?
Yeah, give me 1 second here. I'm gonna go back to
So
us
because
three,
it,
and then I'm gonna pull it up.
so
With
because
the poll.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
got it. Give me 1 second.
So Fox 26 in Houston did a poll, and they were talking about exactly what Antoine said, right? Like, you on a plane, sometimes you see people with their shoes off. So they decided to do a poll about it.
We've been talking about this one in the newsroom, but we want to hear from you. When flying, should your shoes stay on the entire flight, or is it okay to slip it off on occasion? Is that acceptable? Well, 59% of you say no way. Leave them on. We want you guys to continue to have this conversation with us and chime in. You can vote by heading to fox26houston.com or download our free news app as well.
I'm just 41. That percentage of it's okay. No.
Now, yeah, I mean, I normally don't take this route. Oh, sorry,
the
that's
world ended.
and I'm a comment on that in a second. Normally I don't go this route, but you know who that is in that 41%. We're not talking about it tonight. We probably won't talk about it on Friday, but y'all need to watch Jon Stewart eviscerate the current administration over what's happening in Gaza and the West Bank.
I heard he covered it. I didn't watch it though, but I heard about it.
It was thorough because basically what it is, it's a comparison of how the administration has responded to Ukraine in comparison to Gaza. And when they take the sound bites, everything they said about Ukraine and the fact that we were, we jumped in, we were like, yeah, you can't be starving people of food. We had to go in there and do what's right. And then they would show them ask the same question about Gaza. And it's like, well, we heard it. I mean, we're not sure. We're still investigating. It's concerning. Every time it involved Gaza, they said concerning. But when it was the Ukraine, it was like, yeah, load it up, ready to go, slap the shit out of these motherfuckers. So we're probably not going to do it because we're making some inroads and we don't want to get set back. But if you have time, do your due diligence and watch the Daily Show segment with Jon Stewart about the current administration and Gaza.
Yeah, I heard it was thorough. I'm also mad that they let Charlemagne the guy get on there and talk shit about DEI. So
of course,
I'm a little pissed off about with the Daily Show right now. Lisa said she's printed cards for people like that on a plane. I distribute them. Air hosts love it. I get free drinks.
Wait, which card? Wait, which cards?
For people who have their shoes off.
Oh.
And Bev said, I don't know if you see Bev's comment. She said, a woman put her barefoot on my arm in first class. I blacked out and went back to work. I know that's right. Okay.
Let me tell you what I would do. Real talk. I keep some hand sanitizer on me. I would just continuously spray her feet until she moved them. I would just spray her. I wouldn't touch her. I would just pull out my hand sanitizer and spray my hand sanitizer till either she moves her feet or I have no more left.
That's just so nasty.
It's so gross.
It's a disregard for the people that have to keep planes clean. It's just it's not a whole lot. Now, here's one thing I will say. If you have some sort of medical condition or something, I guess that's one thing. But there has to be
even that, Antoine. Even that, like, okay, I see you having to come up out of your boots or certain shoes. You got some compression socks on.
Yeah.
But if I gotta get up from my seat and walk any place, shoes is coming back on my feet. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, if I've taken them off and I have socks on, because ain't no way my bare feet gonna be out there. I definitely ain't putting them up on no goddamn armrest of somebody else's chair.
No.
How was you motherfuckers raised?
Yeah, that's nasty.
What
the fuck? People want you to slap the shit out of them. That's what it feels like. You just woke up today and you said, I'm not choosing violence. I'm choosing to get the shit slapped out of me. That's what you chose.
Whoa, that's another t-shirt.
Through the world
That's actually a good T-shirt to wear on the airplane. Like if you get on the airplane to make sure that nothing happens to you, you could just wear a T-shirt that says "I slapped the shit out of people."
I mean,
Like,
hey,
real talk. Just wear
when
that
this is going on, it's justified.
Wait, Jason's comment, because if we know you don't wash your legs, how you getting soap on your feet? So yeah.
Because the soap runs down. You remember they said the soap runs down the body. The soap runs down the body. That's what they.
Oh Lord.
It runs down. They said the soap runs down the legs.
Oh Lord.
Wait, Bev said, "Oh, she moved. I don't want to get arrested, but I am not the one."
Ooh.
Big facts. So, in addition, I'm sorry. Also, this is the man who's running for president. Okay. And there are people out here talking about, well, I'm like, well, nothing. That motherfucker's crazy. Fuck his last name. All right. Also, his campaign advice, one of his campaign people was out in these streets talking about she was talking to a bunch of Republicans. She's like, our mutual enemy is Biden. Okay. She told that crew to like go to Pennsylvania and campaign for Trump. She described a scenario of if neither Biden nor Trump got the required 270 electoral votes to win the election, then if that happens, this shit goes to Congress. They get to decide who's the next president of the United States. So RFK Jr. is literally a spoiler candidate. That is his whole purpose, which again, those of us who fucking pay attention to shit have been saying that from day one.
Yeah.
The whole point is to disrupt this fucking process.
Say it publicly. It's I mean, they don't give a fuck what we think. It's literally laying it out, and you're one of this man's advisors, laying out. You know he can't win. You know he can't win. He's just there to be an agent of chaos. To just say that with just like, oh yeah, I mean, it's keeping it real over here. You know, that's what we're doing, and go fuck yourself.
So, there's a political strategist that I follow, Cornell Belcher. He's on MSNBC a lot. He said, this is him. He said, many of us already understood Trump cannot and will not garner over 48% in an election without turnout over 55%. His best route to winning is subtraction. So he needs a repeat of 2016 where third party voting, a Green Party bullshit, where third party voting disperses the majority coalition against him, lowering his floor to victory. Again, we know what's happening. Okay. So
this isn't what the founding fathers intended. I'm sorry. None of what's happening right now is what they intended. Come on.
I'm gonna tell you what's going to happen. And I mean, if this doesn't happen, then it's going to go back to Trump. If Biden's administration doesn't figure out a way how to deal with this whole Israel-Gaza situation, because that's what younger voters are going to use. That's what's upsetting them. And that's also what Republicans are going to continue to use. So if he doesn't figure that out, it's going to go to the right.
Well, that's a big one of the big issues that a lot of people are alluding to, the fact that so if you remember, Biden launched his campaign on TikTok, which meant like when and I'm not gonna go in too far on Biden because this ain't all him. But there's an argument that actually is not that out there as far as I'm concerned, that a lot of this hoopla about TikTok is the fact that TikTok is where the seeds of everyone actually starting to understand what was really happening over there in Israel and Gaza and the West Bank. Because until the young people got a hold of TikTok and they were getting information outside of the United States, most of us were walking around with blinders on, completely ignorant to what was really happening and the numbers and just the history because of our affiliation with Israel. So that's crazy to me. I guess what I'm trying to say is a lot of people are arguing that this takedown of TikTok is to remove their element from the political process because young people are becoming too informed using that platform that gives them access to people from all around the world who don't necessarily share an American perspective on international politics.
What I will say is this, though. I did have a TikTok account, but I never really used it, right? The reason I didn't is once I found out that it was an application from a country that we'll just say rhymes with China. I'm like, that is a serious adversary of ours, and the information that particular nation can get from us through that application. So to be real with you, once I found that out years ago, I
Right.
just, yeah.
Well,
I mean, well, it picked up. Definitely a concern, Chavez. But I also feel like everything gets hacked once a week at all accounts. But still, willingly handing
they're
over
next
something
level.
to people.
The thing about them,
Yeah, no.
I'm
TikTok is can collect a lot.
but them as a nation and a country and as a people, they're next level. I know someone that worked with a major company of theirs, and they've been planning and plotting a global takeover, which is been happening in front of our eyes for like the last 15 years.
I
think
cannot disagree with that.
No,
I
think
I was about to say. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go. You go first.
Well, I was going to say, once Elon took over Twitter, obviously that lessened the flow of communication there, right? And so TikTok obviously became a big replacement of that. But in this era, though, we do know a lot more about what's happening outside of our fucking borders, right? Like that has been one thing that has made certain things a little bit more egalitarian. It's like y'all can't just dictate from DC, oh, this is what's happening. No, we got video, we can see, right? Other people who are on the ground in these places are sharing real information.
Right.
You're about to say something.
I think that, to me, because China don't fuck with none of our apps. You can't get Facebook, you can't get Instagram, none of that shit. But at the same time, China is an authoritarian government. Their people don't have the same freedoms that we have. So to me, I think that should be up to the person. If you want to give them access to your information, I think because of your First Amendment rights, you should be able to do that. But I do think people should be able to make an informed decision, because I don't think the average person knew when they created a TikTok account that it was controlled by a company that is not based here. They just saw an app, it's popular, and they participated. So yeah, because like Crescent said, this company's here to fuck your data up. So yeah,
if you have any online presence, your shit can get hacked.
That's true.
I mean, it's just this is the era we live in. Like you literally have to, and some places don't even take cash anymore, right? So let's say you was trying to like minimize. And this is like, nah, B, you won't hit this tap. And, if I want to get your geo, whatever coordinates, whatever the fuck, from off of whatever satellite, so it's concerning. It's 100% concerning.
Yeah.
Keep staying focused. Biden needs to go back in office. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all the shit that's happening. Because Trump is going to be worse across the board on all issues. Every single issue possible, he going to tell Netanyahu to flatten Gaza. So it's just everything is bad. I mean, I do want the Biden administration to do something different with Gaza, though. Like
Bilal is speaking true. He's telling you, Crescent, to stop being disrespectful and calling it Twitter. You better call it X from now on.
Fuck Elon Musk. I want to quote some of what Antoine was talking about earlier today with some of these porn scenarios, but I'm not.
After dark, Crescent Uncut.
I'm gonna let it ride. So we got Terrence Farrah Fawcett ready to go.
Oh yeah, let me find him. That's the gift.
Butters.
We're gonna let Terrence close us out.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna have a quick comment on him, and then
that's fine. So here's the thing: he's suing CAA.
Got them butters, baby. Got them butters.
Wait, before you hit play, Antoine. Before you hit play, he's suing CAA. Here's the thing: something Empire and what he was paid per episode. Something Big Bang Theory and what they were paid per episode. Something. Honestly, I could not focus because this motherfucking hairstyle has me distracted as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
And I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of context, because when it comes to Terrence, context is always very important. So here you go.
They owe me over $120 million based on what would have been paid to white counterparts. Yeah. My show was with Fox. The people from Big Bang was with Fox. We had 28 million viewers. They had 11 million viewers. Yeah. They were getting damn near $3 million an episode, those white kids that had no name recognition, no Oscar nominations, none of that. These jokers are paying me $325,000 an episode. My agents were incentivized to keep my pay low. I asked them about it, about my money. They sent me a check for $666 exactly. How do you negotiate $2 million for a white cat and negotiate $325,000 for a black cat that has 3 times white cat?
Okay, so that's all a complete fucking lie. Big Bang Theory, because let me tell you, because here's the thing. The one thing I'm not going to argue with this nigga over is the fact that black actors are underpaid. They're undervalued. Now, what happened here, just so that you understand that this was completely taken out of context and misleading, Empire had the unique problem of being too successful when it started. Normally, when a show starts, you get the least pay the first couple seasons because the network is taking a chance on you. Empire hit the network and they were getting 17 million views on average per season. Season 2, it was like 18. And usually after the second or third season, that's when you renegotiate. So he's trying to say that Big Bang Theory actors were getting paid millions of dollars. They were getting paid $60,000 an episode during their first almost 3 seasons. When the show blew up, the opposite happened with Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory was a slow burn. It started at about 8. Big Bang Theory, by the time it went off the air, it had fluctuated between 12 and over 20 million viewers per episode. So when their numbers went up, and obviously they were on for 12 seasons, they had to renegotiate with the actors. So this is misleading. He's telling you the numbers they were getting paid towards the end instead of telling you. And here's the thing. Taraji and Terrence were movie stars when they were on Empire. Terrence was getting like $300 and some odd $1,000 per episode on a brand new show. That is unusual. Taraji was getting less, but she wasn't getting paid $60. So what I'm saying is, because of their pedigree, they probably should have been getting paid more. But for him to act like they were paying the white kids, and look, we know it's not equal, but don't say they were getting paid millions when they were getting paid under $100,000. That's just misleading.
It sounds like the Iron Man situation. It sounds like kind of like the conversation he started having about Iron Man too. But let me say this. Let me just say this about the hair. That hair was giving that hair was giving more cousin Cindy from Three's Company.
Yes.
I've seen that hair before, and it was giving me more cousin Cindy from Three's Company.
Because Farrah was more feathered and long and blonde, and it was yeah.
All I'm saying is, I don't know how that woman sat across from him and kept a motherfucking straight face.
I know.
And had a real interview with this nigga sitting there with that hair and crossing his legs, and I was like, what? How? No, absolutely not. No. Yo. Is he in character for something?
He is. That's the thing. As far as my research, she caught him. Because Terrence be booked. He's still booked. She, I believe, had to go to him, or he had to go to her. They were probably in, I don't know if they're in New York or LA, but he was still in costume for a role that he's playing. So this is not, I mean, that's clearly a wig. This wasn't him just stepping out saying, I want to look fly today. I want to stand above the rest and let me throw this pretty wig on. That's not what was happening. But with him, you never know.
Okay, so first of all, baby wipes. That hair, that color was fire. Okay, like that was.
If it were his real hair, it would probably be celebrated. Because we've seen this before. This is Superfly. You know, it's just shorter, but you know, I have an uncle that used to wear his hair like this. So, yeah.
While we're talking about Big Bang Theory, no, that was literally in my top 5 favorite shows. Like, yeah. So Bev mentioned it was Not Friday. Big Bang Theory was a good ass show. No, straight up.
That's why it had staying power, because over time it had a more diverse viewership, but Empire was still a phenomenon when it came out because a show with a whole all black cast, that was huge. But unfortunately, what happens a lot of the time is, you start seeing cracks in the foundation. It's like, oh, this writing ain't as good as I thought it was. Oh, doesn't seem like they really knew where they were going to take the show. And then you throw the Jussie Smollett stank on there that happened, I think, season 4 or 5. But by the time Empire fell off, it's 6 seasons total, right? Terrence is complaining about his pay. By the time season 4 came around, the average viewership had dropped to like 6, and by the time they got to 5 and 6, it was less than 4. So it burned out way too fast. And that is when, had it still, even if it hadn't, because it's hard to go up from 17 and 18. If Empire had been generating 10 million solid viewers per episode in season 5, he would have been making over $1 million per episode, but it had just fizzled out.
Yeah, I mean, I used to recap Empire. Like I was glued to that shit. And the first 3 seasons was lit. Yeah, you're right. Season 4, I was like, what are we doing? And then, it just never fully recovered. So
yeah, it didn't. I dipped out halfway through season 2.
You also have Big Bang Theory. Also, Ensemble, but that's a sitcom, half-hour sitcom. It is still a slightly different. Not saying you can't have an hour juggernaut. Look, Shonda Rhimes, Grey's Anatomy is still very much on, going strong.
Yeah.
So that it is possible, but that's consistent good writers, and also a procedural type show like a hospital. You got an influx of people continuously, right? So it's like we hit this, and it's like, okay, how are we doing this, right? Like Antoine said, what's the long-term vision for this?
Right.
How we can potentially keep it on the air. Some
and
shows,
the content
some shows aren't made for that either.
It's more palatable and it's more digestible for a larger audience when it's lighthearted humor. And Empire could get heavy. I mean, you throwing gay niggas in garbage cans at the age of 6. It's heavy. Everybody don't want to watch that. So it was amazing that it did as well as it did. And I remember how happy we were when the excitement was palpable for, I'm squeezing it like it's a titty. How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal, and Empire. Man, we put it down for those shows. I mean, they were 100%.
But those shows in particular, Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder, they could not last into 10 seasons. That's not what was going to happen with those types of shows.
No, it was impossible.
Right? No, like you couldn't keep that shit up. So
because Scandal because Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder started getting real weird towards the end because it was only so far they could go with it, but they were still good shows.
Scandal for me more so because How to Get Away with Murder, I think they realized by the time they were in Scandal, right, they're like, okay, we got to figure out what we gonna do. And I think they had already been thinking about that with How to Get Away with Murder. So they're like, so we know where the end point gonna be with this crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shonda, so much for these characters.
That's one of my favorites. How to Get Away with Murder is one of my favorite shows of all time. I remember how excited I was to watch that. Scandal started losing me with the crazy mama shit, and when she ended up in the Middle East when they kidnapped her. But it was never bad. Oh, because when her father showed up, I was like, how is it getting better?
That's what I'm saying. Papa Pope. No, Scandal, we good. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Can y'all menfolk tell people to like the video? Because
yeah, like oh yeah, it's 13 in here. We only got 10. We only got 10 likes. Yeah, some of y'all ain't liked it. It's time.
Yeah, like the video.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Time to do it. Just do it. Just Nike. Just do it.
Well, gangsta in his voice. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate our new subscribers. Thank you. Yes. Lisa was a big help with securing some new subscribers.
Thank you so much. Lisa, it's so I don't know if Cressa, do you get the notifications too? I don't, because you're an administrator. Do you get them too?
Right. I don't. I see the number. I don't get an email.
Okay, so I just happened to, because after we got up to like 503, because I was just happy to get up to 500. I looked at my email today and it was like, it had all these people that I did not know. And it was just like, boom, 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 boom. And then I went and looked. I'm like, damn, we going to be at 600 in a minute. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And the
Yay.
likes are equal to the number of people in the chat, so y'all did your thing.
There you go.
Like the video.
Thank you, Chavez, for joining us.
Oh, it's all good.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Ernest, for coming back. And Bev said, like, highlight Bev's comment. She said, okay, I have a group chat challenge. We each need to bring a friend on Friday. Yeah, do that. We like that.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Since we fucking up here consistent, we got a party to go to on Saturday night, okay? So we gonna be here Friday to make sure, you know, we cover the shit, but we're not gonna hear on Monday.
Yeah, I'll be on a plane again on Monday.
See, now look, now who moving?
Now it's
I
me.
get on planes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm just saying, okay.
Yeah, I got a weekend. I'm gonna be gone in May too, but I think I might be able to I think I might be able to just make that that might just. No, it's gonna be a Friday and a Saturday night. I'm gonna miss a day.
We got to talk about the May schedule because my birthday and then some other shit popping off. So we're gonna figure out May.
Okay.
All right. Love you guys. Thanks for watching.
All right. Toodles to you niggas.